The Pelicans just robbed the NBA of any hope of getting their hands on one of its most defensive and most talented stars. We're going to take a look at the Herb Jones extension and also discuss what went down in Game 1 of Summer League in Las Vegas with the rookies inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, everybody? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, and thank you so much once again for tuning in to Pelicans Digest on this Friday, man. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And there's still a whole lot of y'all who are watching, but ain't hit that subscribe button yet. Man, go ahead and hit that button, baby. You'll get the best analysis, opinions, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans right here on Pelicans Digest. And, of course, we're going to talk about NBA Summer League. Game 1 yesterday went down. The Pelicans took the L, but, you know, that's not really important. We're really looking over who's going to make this roster in Summer League. And we're going to talk about that in a matter of minutes. But the big news that went down yesterday after that game, much to the joy and the happiness of Pels fans everywhere, is that Herb Jones got his bag, man. The Pelicans already had him on a great contract and could have stuck to their guns and kept him on that contract, but instead the Pels wanted to make sure that they locked in one of their core pieces along with Trey Murphy and Zion Williamson. Let's take a look at the deal involving Herb Jones. The Pelicans forward Herb Jones has agreed to a 3-year, $68 million contract extension with the franchise, according to Mark Bolliston and Kieran Pillar of Priority Sports. They told ESPN this news. Jones now has a total 5 years and $97 million on his Pelicans deal, with a player option in 2029 and 2030. So when you take a look at Herb Jones' current contract situation, he had one of the best contracts in the league, one of the most friendliest contracts in the league. His current contract had him through this year and next year, giving him $13.9 and $14.9 million. With the extension, he's going to stands to make over $20 million a season for the next three seasons after that. And a fascinating part of that I found about this extension is giving Herb all that extra money shows that the Pels want to keep him secure, okay? There has been a lot of talk of him being on the trade block. And I was checking out some of the other message boards from other teams, and it was hilarious to see them. They all like, you can feel the deflation in a lot of these fan bases who thought they had a chance at getting at Herb Jones, especially a certain franchise in Los Angeles, the Lakers. I was looking at some of their message boards talking about, oh, this was never a realistic signing for us. Yeah, sure. Oh, I wonder who was putting out all these trade talks and all this information about the Pels wanting to trade Herb Jones or trying to get Herb Jones out of there. I think they had a lot to do with that. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen for y'all. It's a wrap. They're giving Herb Jones the security. And according to a lot of NBA insiders that I was reading about, Herb was going to be due for this max anyway. There was a lot of talk that it would happen. If anything, the extension would try to happen at the end of this season with the Pels, just because they wanted to see if he'd be able to come back off that shoulder injury and everything else. But Joe Dumars said, nah, we gonna put the stop to that noise right now. And I think that's great because that shows that you value Herb Jones and his contributions. You also realize that, you know, trading off a defensive stalwart like that is maybe a bad idea. It may be a bad idea. It's something that we talked about. If there was teams calling to inquire about Herb Jones and could give you a trade package that was phenomenal, then yeah, it was something you could take a look at. But I don't think anybody was coming like that towards the Pels. And also, I think you want to give Herb Jones the security. Give him the confidence to make sure that no matter what happens, he's going to have a job with this team. And that's important for a culture standpoint. If you're the Pelicans, that's important from a culture standpoint. It shows that you are willing to build and not be so reactionary and jumpy, like we've been over the last few seasons. We tend to be reactionary and jumpy once we lose one of these players, and then to ship them out of town instead of building that player. I think they value Herb Jones, and I think this is important from a culture standpoint. It shows that the team values your work and want you to be here and will pay you to be here. So big shout out to Herb Jones, man. And congratulations to Herb. But I hope He don't go out here and act crazy. I hope he sticks to his guns and still keeps driving that Charger and wearing the team gear, even though he about to make close to $100 million in the NBA. Big shout out to Herb Jones. Very pleased with the signing. Very happy with that. Gets him locked in. So we can move on now. We know he's safe. He's safe. He ain't going nowhere. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And now we need to get into the discussion on what happened yesterday in Summer League, okay? First Summer League game for the Pels, playing up against a very stacked Minnesota Timberwolves team that brought pretty much started a whole starting five of guys. I think they only had like one rookie in their starting five. Everybody else played actual NBA minutes last season. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, we ain't winning that game. So let's just evaluate. Let's just go ahead and evaluate. And that was correct. I didn't see the Pels winning this game because they put out a whole bunch of guys who actually had NBA minutes last season. But I did walk away. Being impressed by a few things at Summer League yesterday. Of course, Jeremiah Fears is as advertised, man. That kid is the truth. The kid is the truth. If you watched him play yesterday, you should be excited as a Pels fan that this was your number 7 pick, and he's bringing a ton of energy. I saw him commanding leadership on the court from the other guys. He was pretty much leading the offense at the point guard position. Explosive, high energy, quick, great ball vision, great court vision. Was making some incredible passes throughout the game. Was a little too hype, but that's understandable. First NBA game, want to prove something, want to get out there and prove something. So there's nothing I can really say bad about Jeremiah Fears except other than he was a little too hype at times, especially in the third and fourth quarter. You could see that he wanted to try to affect the game and take over the game, but was doing a little too much. But I think that can get calmed down. That can get controlled with time. So I feel good with Jeremiah Fears. I'd say you play one more game and then sit him down for the rest of Summer League. I say you give him one more game, and then you can go. You have enough tape to look at to say, all right, this is what you need to work on in these particular aspects of the game. Other than that, the kid is as advertised, man. I'm very excited about Jeremiah Fears' future with the Pelicans. Now let's get into a little bit of the stuff, a little stuff, because a lot of y'all probably saw that Derek Queen struggled early in the first half of this game. Now, to his credit, I think the kid was nervous. I mean, first NBA action. You can see the oh crap moment in this kid's eyes when he first started. Like, oh snap, these guys are faster. And because there were certain moments in the game, especially with 7 turnovers that he had in the game early on. You can see that the entire experience was kind of eye-opening for him. Like the lights were too bright for him in the first half. And Corey Brewer spoke on this. Corey Brewer spoke on this in the post-game press conference saying, hey, we had to get him to settle down. He was a little too, you could tell that it was kind of like his mind was blown. Like, damn, these guys really are faster than me and are really on me. Plus, I think what you saw in Minnesota was they made a concerted effort to try to keep him under control and keep him from going off. Because every time he tried to enter the paint, there was a lot of doubles. And I think that's something the Pels are going to have to take a look at and having him work on his game. Because what I saw was a lot. Every time he would get his hands on the ball, 2 guys were immediately on him. And you could tell that these guys sensed that sort of uneasiness with them, especially in the first half. Now, in the second half, he settled in, got right. Coach told him, play your game. Play what you've been known to do. He settled in, picked up 13 and 10 in the second, damn near all of that in the second half. So at the end of the day, you have got to feel good about Derek Queen, but also you're going to have to recognize it's going to take some time for this kid. All right. I think they could get him done quicker. I think they could get it done here in Summer League, get him coached up and ready for the season in Summer League. He just got to get over that little nervousness, which I think he did. And he began to realize, okay, I can hang with these guys. So big shout out to Derek Queen. I think he could get better. He will get better. I think he's going to have to work on his conditioning, his size, maybe get some more muscle, because you can see in this very photo that I use, guys are, mowing them up easily. So there's still hope for Derek Queen. I still think he can be very impactful, especially after that double-double he put up pretty much in the second half. So we'll see what happens with them. I hope that he can get over some of that nervousness and improve. And I think there's room for improvement. So there's a lot of room for improvement. But otherwise, after the first half, he had an excellent showing, in my opinion. But the player I walked away most impressed with was not Lester Quinones. Lester Quinones scored 17. He was supposed to. Not Antonio Reeves. Antonio Reeves did his thing, came out there and shooting, but I saw defensive problems with both of those guys. The player that I did walk away the most impressed with was Micah Peavey. I couldn't take my eyes off of Micah Peavey when he didn't have the ball. Like, it's one thing to watch a player when you have the ball. Watch a player when he doesn't have the ball. Watch a player when he doesn't have a ball. Just watch how he moves and gets in front of guys. I was really impressed with Micah Peavey and his composure and his ability to stay in front of guys. His defense, like I said, that's been the big credit to Peavey's game, is that he can stay in front of anybody you put in front of. And they put him in the forward position, and I think it was in the small forward position, and he pretty much was able to keep up with the guys all game long, that whoever they put in front of him. Shooting wise, needs some work. He hit some threes here and there, the shooting wise, but I like the fact that he was in constant motion throughout the game and constantly doing the little things that we discussed about in his preview video. It was like he does the little things. Scrappy, gets on the floor, stays in front of everybody. You need that kind of smoke with somebody, especially if you're looking for somebody to get on the second or the third team with this roster. Can he start? That remains to be seen, but he's going to be a very helpful presence, even if he just goes into the second squad, the second line. I think he can be very helpful as a defensive presence. And like, I have to say, he's kind of like Herb. He's kind of like Herb. You know, I said this in the video before. This is Herb Jones 2.0 in Micah Peavey. Yeah, the shooting ain't all that's starting off. His career ain't shooting off the best. Well, his shooting at the start of his career isn't starting off as the best, but his defense is there. So I think if you can make this right, you should be pleased with the three rookies. But we have another game on Saturday. We're going to take a look at that and give you more evaluations about that here in the coming days. But what are your thoughts, man? Are you very happy with the Herb Jones signing? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments. If you are happy with the Herb Jones signing, do you think we should have moved them? What are your thoughts on it? And also, what are your thoughts on Summer League, the first game of Summer League, and the players involved? How you think what the rookies did? Who were you impressed with? Who were you not impressed with? Clap back with your thoughts, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on, breaking news and more, right here on Pelicans Digest on YouTube. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, baby, and let's keep the conversation going. It's Melz talking about them Pels. I'll holla at you.